Do you know how weird this is? That you and I as human beings are able to talk at the same time in the space of the, I don't know, 3 billion years or something the Earth has been alive, that you and I can sit down and have this kind of discussion right now. We are both conscious of our surroundings and actively living in our world around us. Though I would say some of us live less than the rest, you gotta give credit to everyone out there. They are all human. But this question came specifically to my mind when I thought, wow, it's really interesting that I'm living at the same time as the Demogorgon. And yes, baby, that's what this video is about. Woohoo, strap in. We're learning about the Demogorgon. And you know, this is the video I've wanted to do for a real long time, but never had the chutzpah to. Mainly because, like, no one watches me. But you know what? If I'm genuinely passionate about it, fuck it, I'll give it a go. I saw my Wesker video hit 30 viewers, and honest to God, I've had 3 different YouTube channels, and that's the most I've seen on any one of them. So you know what? Here we fucking go, boys. I believe that if we cut Dead by Daylight's killer tier list directly down the middle, we would get the Demogorgon. He's not amazing at anything. He's not trash at anything. He has got literally the tiniest amount of everything in his kit that you can want in a killer. Map mobility, zoning, anti-loop, hell, even if you use your power right, you can use it for gen slowdown as well. Although that might be a bit counterproductive, hell, you can play him how you want, I'm not going to judge. The Demogorgon is a 4.6 meters per second, 32 terror radius having basic bitch killer that you can find in the clearance aisle of the local 5 and below. But this doesn't stop me from loving him. He's an underdog, and I think that's what I love the most about him. The Demogorgon's power is Of the Abyss. Of the Abyss is like when you got your first Swiss Army knife as a kid and you opened up to find it could actually do 9 different things. Except unlike the fucking Swiss Army knife, if you want to get good at Demogorgon, you're gonna have to actually use all of those segments of the blade. To, quote, channel the abyss, you must hold the M2 button until the Demogorgon makes a little hissing noise, cueing you that it's ready. And there really is no way to make this section organized, so I'm just gonna blurt out random shit and I'm gonna hope you're gonna follow me. After the Demogorgon hisses when readying Of the Abyss, if you hit the M1 button, you can perform the Shred. And while that sounds badass, that really just means you go like 10 meters in front of you really fast, and if you collide with the survivor, they take a health state. Basic bitch, I said it earlier, what were you expecting? Along with the Shred, you have one of the other aspects of his power, his portals. While you're in an amply open area on a flat surface, you can click the active ability button to place a portal beneath your feet. Although because you can't look all the way down at your feet, I don't know how you're supposed to amply guess the kind of trajectory of where you're supposed to place it, but don't worry, behavior will sort out in the next patch, I promise, cope. While you're standing on top of a portal and facing the direction of a second portal, you can click and hold the active ability button to just go to the other portal, I suppose. It's that seamless and easy. There's no ifs, buts, or nors. When you first place the portals, they are inactive. To you, they appear white, and to the survivors, they appear with the same physique as your dad. Invisible, untouchable, and unable to be conceived. They will not know it's there unless they saw you put it down. However, after either teleporting out of it or teleporting to it, the portal will glow yellow on your screen, and this is how you know the portal is activated. Now they are visible to survivors, can be broken with a quick little 15-second interaction, and also function as mini tracking radars within a very small distance to them. While you have Of the Abyss fully charged, while you have your Shred fully charged, it's way easier to say that. While you have your Shred fully charged, any survivor within 4 meters of an active portal will be highlighted to you in Killer Instinct. Survivors also get the little handy-dandy Oblivious status effect while they're cleansing a portal or while they're near it. So if you see someone's heartbeat with your Shred, just know that you can sneak up on them. They don't know shit. Hell, this is way more useful than you think. You can grab people off portals as in healthy to on your shoulder in a second. And yet it's one of the few killer interactions that you can still pull people off of, like the pig's boxes. Don't go bitching or behavior will come for your killer next. Just be quiet, man. So a quick recap, what do we know? Of the Abyss, hold M2. Click M1 to unleash charged attack. Click active ability button to put little circle, teleport to other circles, circles track, circles give quiet status effect. Wowzers, great killer, I love him. And if I can have a brief aside for a second, just to genuinely kind of spew my heart and talk about something real quick. I want to talk about when I was kind of starting out on the game. Think sub 500 hours. Look at me, with one of my first paychecks on my first job, just getting started to playing Dead by Daylight because a couple of my friends got me into it with eagerness in my eyes. And come to find, one of my friends tells me the Demogorgon from Stranger Things is in the game. Now, you see, I treated this the same way you treat the Mew under the truck rumor from back in the old red and yellow days. Not not with very much grain of salt, I'll tell you that much. Much like how you used to be able to mod Springtrap and Jason into DBD, I very much thought this was just that again. But no, I just started after a time where he was removed and I didn't know he existed. So when I found this out, what did I immediately do? I wanted to know how to get him. I had never seen him in the shop or Steve Harrington and Nancy, and I was a big Steve Harrington fan. Come to find out, he's only Steam exclusive, when he was gone because of the whole CD keys thing, yada yada yada. But guess what? There's a way to get him on console as well. If you don't know, Dead by Daylight on console has physical editions that are just little special editions. They come with free DLC. The free Huntress DLC, the free Doctor DLC, the free Hag DLC. That's the gold edition. And then we can get into things like the headcase bundle, the suitcase 80s bundle, whatever the fuck. Yeah, you can buy that all in physical copy if you're on PS4 or Xbox 360. But the funny is, there's another edition that wasn't more special, that wasn't just amazing. It was a treasure. The Dead by Daylight Nightmare Edition. A holy grail for an upstarting DVD player like myself who wanted to get this super exclusive batch of characters, right? $200. I put $200 down the drain for the Dead by Daylight Nightmare Edition. I don't think you guys understand how much I just wanted the fucking... I didn't even want the Demogorgon. I did not play Killer back when I had sub 500 hours in the game. I played Survivor with my little tiny group of friends that got me into the game, and that made me happy. I wanted Steve. It was only after that group of friends lost interest in the game and I started wanting to try and play Killer that I thought the Demogorgon. Now, that one might be fun. So, aforementioned $200 later, 2 weeks shipping, because eBay sellers always suck. Do not buy from eBay if you have a choice otherwise. And I had in my hands a fucking pristine copy of the Nightmare Edition. When I got it, I'll put up a picture if I can find it. It might have been on my old phone, I don't know. But when I got it, it was still in the plastic seal. The plastic banana freshness guaranteed seal. This copy had most likely never been opened in its entire shelf life, and you know what? I respected the guy. As much shit as I talk about eBay in general, the seller was really nice. I had a great experience, 5 stars. He had almost nothing but 5 stars on his page, which is why I was willing to pay the extra $30 to buy it from him, and not scalpers on eBay. I can distinctly remember that afternoon, coming home, popping in the disc into my PS4, downloading a couple DLCs, and I loaded into the Killer menu, and what I saw genuinely shocked me, because I had expected it to be a scam. They made a custom cover and sold it to everyone for $200. I just got scammed, and I get to tell the world about it. And then I scrolled down from the top of the Killer menu, and there he was, the Demogorgon. Now let's think about this. As I mentioned, I did not know any of these characters were in the game. While I was playing this game, like a year long, when I had like 500 hours in this game, I had not seen a single Stranger Things character, not once. Not once. I started playing in October of 2020, and I bought the Nightmare Edition in like mid 2021. Hell, just to prove my point from someone other than myself, I once went against a Twitch streamer when I was like a P5 Demogorgon who told me it was her first time seeing the Demogorgon in a year. A year? God, I would kill to only see blights once a year. Same with Chuckies, nurses, wraiths, I'm sure you got the gist by now. If you've watched any of my content before, the little clips I post off my little cheeky PS5, I am a Demogorgon main. I had him P100 while he was gone. I am the Demogorgon. Enough of my personal experience aside, but joke's on you, you're still gonna get it. Let's talk about the Demogorgon's actual uses. I say that as in how you will use him almost every game with some slight deviations. Some little quality of life tips that are nice to know with the Demogorgon are, if the shred hits a breakable wall or pallet, it will break it. One of his best add-ons even makes it faster, and wouldn't you know, I take it every game. And also, after emerging out of a portal, you gain the undetectable status effect for 6 seconds, but that basically means nothing because if you have your headphones cranked up to max, you can hear his footsteps 32 meters away. I am not kidding, try it for yourself. Plus all of the mouth gurgling sounds he makes, all the hissing he does, he's not built to be a stealth killer. But in that same vein, I'd argue that he is. People won't be expecting it. High tier players think he's too loud. You're gonna surprise them with that Tinkerer more than you surprise them with Tinkerer on a Bubba. They will not be expecting it. And frankly, I don't think he can capitalize on stealth perks as much as the next guy, like Pinhead, Pyramid Head, that guy that is also Pinhead but worse. Speaking of perks, let's get to his perks and then the suggested perks I'd like to put on him. Let's move on to his first perk, Cruel Limits. Cruel Limits is a Demogorgon perk that activates once a generator has been completed, blocking all vault points within 32 meters of a generator for 30 seconds. Editor's note, I got this wrong. It's actually just all vault locations across the map. This perk is kind of a conundrum. This is an amazing effect. If you're chasing someone and this pops, they can't go anywhere. That is your down. But the fact that it activates unreliably and can only activate 5 times more game, well, at least that's more times than Pain Res can activate, so I'll take it. I think you want to use this on killers that really hate Windows, Bubba, or Pinhead, you know. Hell, Freddy's bad at everything, you might want to put it on Freddy. And I'm now realizing that if this video pops up a year from now, then saying Freddy is going to have a whole new meaning if the Five Nights at Freddy's chapter is Freddy Fazbear. His second perk is Mind Breaker. Mind Breaker is a Demogorgon perk that activates as soon as a survivor touches a gen. While survivors are repairing a gen, regardless of any other perks or whatever they brought, they are inflicted with blindness and exhausted as long as they remain on that gen and for 5 seconds after they get off of the gen. This is one of the best exhaustion perks in the anti-exhaustion perks in the game. No question about it. If you approach a gen while you have Mind Breaker that you know survivors are working on, they have 2 choices. Walk away from the gen and risk getting hit while they recover their exhaustion for their sprint burst, or they begin the chase with exhaustion and therefore do not have access to sprint burst, lithe, smash hit, although if you're using smash hit you should automatically get a golden medal anyways. The killers I found this to work best on are unironically like Demogorgon, Legion, Ghostface, and hell, even Freddy. Not to mention it could just be a little annoying to be working on a gen and not knowing where your bestie duo Swift is hooked. Although if you really are in a Swift, they'll just call it the quadrant of the tile they're hooked in, like some sort of AI-driven program. His last perk is Surge. Surge is a Demogorgon perk and it is honest to God the best of his 3. Whenever you down a survivor with an M1, all generators within 32 meters of you explode, losing some of their progress, and they begin regressing, and any survivors on those gens scream. It's worthy to mention that this perk is 32 meters of you, and not your terror radius, so you can use it while undetectable. This perk is basically meta slowdown on any killer that is M1 exclusively. Singularity, Ghostface, Freddy. Search is highly useful. You can even use it on M2 killers if you're really good about guessing where to M2 and where to M1 in what situation. Do you need that surge proc? Have you checked that gen a little to your right in a while? Do you know if that knee is on it? Well, then maybe put the hatchet down, little huntress. Maybe let Surge do its job. For his suggested perks, I want to have another aside. As a P100 Demogorgon player, I've grown accustomed to using 2 perks and 2 perks only. These are some perks that I believe are highly useful for him and are his absolute best. Perk 1, Enduring. Enduring is a hillbilly perk that shortens the duration of pallet stuns by 50%. That's all it does. It's simply designed. It was made in 2016. What do you want from it? Equipping Enduring makes Shred a completely different power. No longer do you have to play the waiting game of, are they going to drop the pallet? Should I swing into the pallet and get stunned? Should I shred into the pallet and break it? Should I shred into the pallet and get stunned? With Enduring, you just full send it every single time. You guarantee something good happens with Enduring. The second perk I'll recommend for him is Bamboozle. Bamboozle is a clown perk that I talked about in my Wesker video, shameless self-insert, that activates every time you vault a window. Windows you vault will become blocked for 14 seconds, and your vault speed is also increased a tad little bit. Running both of these perks turns Demogorgon into a looping monster. Windows aren't safe if they're blocked, pallets aren't safe with Enduring if you just shred into them. Hell, you want to know what happens 80% of the time? You just free send a shred into a pallet. You hit them with the shred, take the health state, and then you get stunned. It's the best of both worlds. You get the health state and the pallet. Although sometimes a weird occurrence can happen where if the survivor throws the pallet down way too late, they can stun you on the same side you're on. And that's when Enduring's biggest tech really shines, where you can flip around real quick and get both health states in a matter of 2 seconds and that pallet. That is honestly truly what you should be playing into at every pallet against pallet campers is the Enduring tech. That is your magnum opus, your rabbit in the hat, or rabbit in the shoe if you're a Huntress player. If you're a new Demogorgon player and you want some other perks, here's some I can recommend. Gearhead is a Death Slinger perk that activates anytime a survivor loses a health state. For 30 seconds after it activates, any survivor that hits a good skill check on a generator has their aura shown to you for 6 seconds. I love Gearhead. If I ever run 4 perks for whatever reason, you can guarantee this is always my third one. It's such an unexpected form of aura reading, and yet it works so well to counterbalance the game the way the game is usually played. Now survivors on generators have to have a constant guess of whether they're being revealed or not if you're taking health states fast enough. Does he know I'm here? Is there an empty portal around here? Oh god, when's the last time he saw me? I haven't been hooked yet. Oh no, he has pain res. Another perk I'll recommend for him is Lethal Pursuer. Lethal Pursuer is a nemesis perk that turns on as soon as the game starts. At the start of the trial, you see every survivor's aura for 7 seconds. It also extends the length of your other aura rating by 2 seconds, if you happen to have any of that. This perk is amazing, because not only can you plan your portal setup around the gens, you also know where the survivors are positioned. And based around these 2 perks I'm recommending, yes, I'm really happy about the distortion nerf, but they did not need to murder it. Holy sh... Okay, fine, one more that I sometimes use on him. Scourge Hook Gift of Pain is a Cenobite perk that turns 4 hooks into special hooks at the beginning of the game. When you hook a survivor on these hooks, they become kind of like cursed. When they're unhooked, they'll receive mangled and hemorrhage for a certain amount of time, but the cursed part happens once they heal. When a survivor is healed from injured to healthy after being placed on a Scourge Hook Gift of Pain hook, they do all of their actions 11% slower until they're hit again. It's just a ton of passive slowdown if you need that time, if you're vying for that time. The 25% slower heal, the 11% slower gens. If you have 4 healthy survivors equipped with Gift of Pain, the generators are going to give you some time to recuperate some of your lost momentum. Also, not to mention that tryhards will stay injured in order to avoid this effect, and that's where you can capitalize with your little sneak attack. I cast Vicious Mockery. Fuck you. Alright, now let's get to the part I'm really excited to talk about, but also not excited. It's a little double-edged sword. His add-ons. There are only 2 pairs of add-ons you should consider using. Do not mix and match, it will not work well. These are very specific playstyles. Blackheart and Barb's Glasses, and Lepros Lichen and Red Moss. Blackheart is a great add-on that gives you 2 stacks of Save the Best for Last on your shreds. It helps you recover faster. It makes your shred hits really fast. It is one of his best chase add-ons. Barb's Glasses is that yellow add-on we were talking earlier that helps you breakables faster with your shred. It is also his second best chase add-on. The Lepros Lichen and the Red Moss are both of his iridescent add-ons. The Lepros Lichen shows you the auras of all survivors while you were actively traversing the Upside Down, and any survivor that might have been near an active portal anywhere on the map is shown for you for 3 seconds afterwards as well. It's map-wide aura reading without a clause. Come on now. His other Eerie is meant to be paired with this. It is not meant to go on its own. It does not work on its own. The Red Moss has a little bit of a downside, but also mostly upsides. You emerge from portals silently, and you more than double the amount of undetectable you get out of a portal. But it also makes you come out of them slower, although if you're using the stealth portal build with these 2 Eerie add-ons, you're not going to care about that 15% slower speed. You're barely going to notice it. The only other add-on I'll make exception for beginners for using is Mew's Guts, because that decreases the recovery time on missed shreds, and it also gives you an extra portal. Because all of his other add-ons are garbage, and he follows in the same league as Pyramid Head, where add-ons are garbage, except for 2 or 3 that you bring every single game. We could talk about the Devour demo playstyle. I don't wanna. Lifeguard Whistle is really boring, and if you're playing Devour demo, you're not playing demo. What can I really say about the Demogorgon? I love him. He's got a little bit of everything in his power. He's the perfect beginner killer, in my opinion, while also offering a lot of things to master if you really want to bring him to that expert level. He is, again, a Swiss Army knife with so many things to choose from that I, really can't even list all the intricate techs you can do with him. Hell, I may make an advanced player's guide to Demogorgon in the future, but this is kind of just the sarcastic one-off guide I'm going to do for each and every killer. I don't know, man. What should our closing words be? Well, if the shoe fits... Hey y'all, if y'all made it to the end of my Demogorgon guide, I must say thank you very much. Your support really helps me, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you're into that sort of thing, you can leave a comment, because now that I've done my Wesker and Demogorgon video, I'm looking for killers to do next. And because I don't really main a lot of them, maybe I have some more honest opinions, or maybe even some of you can give me some insights to the killers you guys main. I'm really looking forward to my next killer guide video, because it'll probably be more actual jokes and stuff, and much less my intricate thoughts on the character I love. But yeah, I hope all of you that made it this far have a great rest of your evening, day, afternoon, your work shift, whatever you may be doing. I hope you have a great day. And as always, sayonara, fuckers.